Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Horror Film Lovers Podcast. I am Sarah Adkins with my co-host Jonathan Moody.
Hey, what's going on?
And of course, we got our guest, which today is going to be Cody Hancock again.
Howdy.
Cody, welcome back.
Yeah,
how's it going?
It's a good little fill-in when we need some outside opinion, fellow horror movie lovers.
Most of the time he's with you, so
Right?
kind of helps.
Easily obtainable.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
We need somebody to talk movies with us. Guess what, hon? You're going to be in this one.
I mean, my dog is behind me, but I don't think he can help, talk about this.
I think the cats are the same.
We are going to be doing a movie called Satanic Panic.
Woo!
Which is one that I picked. It's one that I've only seen a small handful of times, but it made an impact. I did like it, and it is something newer. So I thought we would go ahead and talk about something that, wasn't exactly a classic. It was a little new. It was made in September 2019, and actually was filmed in Dallas, which is where I was from before I moved. So I did recognize that Dallas skyline in the background there at the end of the movie, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like it was a pretty cool movie. It had its moments, but we are here to discuss it. So, if you haven't seen it, you probably shouldn't be watching this. So just be warned, spoilers are coming.
Spoilers are coming, for sure.
So I know, Jonathan, you had said that you were gonna do this movie for one of your little shorts, and because you forgot on the thing.
Let's
so you did get to watch it, and it was your first time watching it, right?
Yeah, let's get to that real quick. So Sarah sent me the list of movies that she was going to do this year, and I totally forgot to keep perusing them or remembering what she picked. And then I had Satanic Panic. I bought it from the Dollar Tree. Or I should say the $1.25 tree on Blu-ray. And I was so excited. I was like, okay, I want to watch this, and I want to review it for First Time Watch Friday. So we go to record the Cabin Fever episode that just passed, and Sarah's so I'm telling Sarah before, and I'm gonna be doing. I just did Satanic Panic for First Time Watch Friday, and she goes, isn't that the one we're doing,
next
and I was like, oh wait, what? And I totally forgot. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to post that review, but I may post it again and just cut out the fact that it's First Time Watch Friday at some point. I don't know, because it might have different stuff
about what accidentally happened. It'll be fine.
Yes, I might actually have a little bit of a disclaimer in the beginning.
Yes. But it was your first time watching it. You did get to go out and buy it, which I'm surprised you found it at a dollar store.
Right.
That's a good find.
Yeah, if you go to the Dollar Tree by you might be able to find it. I don't know if you already own it or not, but
not yet. It's one of those it's a little harder to get. You could only you can't really stream it on anything but Shudder.
Right. And so it's on Shudder if people want to go see it. Once again, if you haven't seen it, I don't know why you're listening.
But you haven't seen, you shouldn't be watching this because we're about to spoil the heck out of this.
We are about to spoil the shit out of this. But so I hadn't seen it. I knew nothing about it. The only thing I did know was I saw people who had Dollar Tree finds and everything or whatnot, and they would talk about how apparently, and I don't have it with me. I think I put it back in my Blu-ray collection, and I can't find it right now. So I didn't even rewatch it because it's so new in my brain that I'm pretty sure I know almost. I'll be able to talk about everything that happened in it. And it leaves it is one of those movies that leaves with you. You can remember this. But the casing, because it was actually sold at Walmart.
Okay.
And Walmart has this thing where if the movies, I guess, don't sell, all the way out or whatever, if they have remaining copies, they will sell it to the Dollar Tree. There's multiple movies that will all of a sudden go to Dollar Tree that were I would see it.
I do know Walmart does do that with their movies, though, because I used to work for a store that got all of those as well. It wasn't a Dollar Tree, but it was a lot of closeout stores will buy movie leftovers from Target and Walmart, all the ones that don't sell. So I'm not surprised. We're gonna have to do a thing, Jonathan, where we each go to a Dollar Tree in our area and pick out a few horror movies and see what we get.
That sounds fun. That sounds like
Right?
a fun scavenger hunt. We'll bring Paul
Right?
into this thing. Paul loves going to the Dollar Trees. We'll just have us all like run around.
So Walmart just ended up sending these leftover copies to the Dollar Tree, huh? Well, go hunting, people.
Well,
that's a good find.
Here's the thing. So at Walmart, they are not allowed to say anything that has to do with Satan or hell or anything like that. So censored. There was a movie called Hellcat, and it was literally just changed to like cat or something. Like it was literally or whatever. It was like it was not allowed to be at Walmart as Hellcat and stuff because I don't know why. I guess they're sort of religious or something. I don't know.
They censor everything. I remember going there as a kid when they sold CDs and being highly disappointed as a teenager buying a CD, not realizing they censored it so much. I was like, okay, no more buying stuff from Walmart.
My first Limp Bizkit CD.
So that's exactly right. Because the Dollar Tree also has CDs. And I don't know if people know that or not, but they sell CDs and they sell the ones I'm pretty sure were left over from Walmart. Because I bought a Smile Empty Soul CD and it was fucking censored. And I was like, man, it's so weird because they don't like bleep it or anything. So it would just be like, dead
air.
Dead air. And then on top of that, like, I don't know if you guys ever listen to Smile Empty Soul, but they curse a lot. And so it would be some time where they would be like saying all of these different curse words in a row. And you literally can't hear a word that they're saying.
You're like, did
and then
the
they're
CD
like,
stop?
wait, did the CD stop? What happened? And it's,
so when you found this movie, was it just called Panic?
Yes, exactly. On the cover, on so it comes with a cover case, and then you also get the DVD case inside the cover case. So the cover case says Panic, but then when you open it up, the DVD case or Blu-ray case actually says Satanic Panic. So
that's kind of an interesting little hack to know that, if you go to your dollar store and find all these edited copies of movies, you might be able to find some really cheap horror movies, at some good prices. So we might have to go on a scavenger hunt.
I mean, I have a ton of them right now. We do a thing every for Indie Film Cafe. Every month we do a haul video where we talk about the movies we get, and it's me, with Paul and John Ward, who does Mainstream Monday on Horror Film Lovers, and thank God he's doing it every week with me. So I don't know, like I thought he would give up and be like, I'm kind of done with this, but like we're already on like the urban legends and all that. So by the time this comes out, we'll probably be on to something else. I don't know. So what?
And spoiler alert, it didn't edit out the orgy scene at the end, right?
Oh, they don't edit the movie.
The whole movie wasn't edited, right?
No, the movie wasn't edited. None of it.
It would be too hard to edit this movie, I would think, because there's so much gore and boobage.
I know. There's a lot of stuff in there that was awesome.
Yeah. We're going to talk about this Kildo here in a minute.
So let's can you kind of describe the story for us, Sarah?
Sure. Okay, so you get this pizza girl who is very shy, and she just got this job. She really needed it. They show her very, very just fragile and timid in the beginning of like she has to give her last $5 for the deposit of the pizza bag, even though she needs gas for a little moped. The guy who helped her get the job is a creep and just won't stop hitting on her. Like she just doesn't have much of a backbone. I think her name's Cassie. Like she's just kind of like
Sam.
Sam. Sorry, her name's Sam. Sorry, I think there's a Cassie. Her name is Sam though. But it's like you show her doing deliveries, and it's like, hey, so I need you to help me move this couch in delivery, girl, and I'm going to tip you with an Applebee's coupon, Or, hey, I knocked on the door of this hotel, here's your pizza. Like, do you have to pee? Because I got a John in here and I just peed. No? Well, then I'm going to need my quarter back. It's laundry day. Like, she just has this horrible day, no backbone to stand up to these people. And she ends up screwed with money. So she takes this pizza delivery that's out of their basically their delivery zone. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I hope I get a good tip. Like, I
Well,
need it.
so okay, and before you say that though, the guy there, the guy that was hitting on her the whole time,
Uh-huh.
was telling her, "Don't go to that area. They
Right.
don't tip." You know, like this
Yeah,
is
well, yeah, there's a lot. There's they call it like what, S Town. They're like, no, it's because it's like shitty tips. It's like people don't fucking tip, you know, and all this stuff. But you know, so they just show this very shy like pizza girl is having a shit time in her life, going out to the rich neighborhood to fucking deliver a pizza or a bunch of pizzas to a party, and then she gets screwed over. Some crazy satanic shit happens, and then she kind of finds her backbone a little bit, has to fight through all this fucking shit, which we're gonna get into, you know, and then rides off into the Dallas sky, out away from the Dallas skyline at the end, victorious that, you know, she made it through.
so what
So
I
there's a
sort
lot
of
of details in the middle of this. I just don't want to spoil it all. I want to talk about it.
yeah, we'll get to those details for sure. So what it reminded me so much. Have you guys ever seen The Babysitter on Netflix? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of reminded me of that a little bit. Like, it wasn't the same plot, but
Right.
you know, you take out like the pizza girl, and you add like a kid at a baby's, you know, being babysat. You kind of get the
Right.
same thing of like
there's
dealing
lot
with
of
a
campy
satanic cult.
movies out, you know, with the satanic cults that just kind of like, up, surprise, which Ruby in this, she I can't remember her. I think her real name is Ruby, not the character, but she was in Happy Death Day 1 and 2,
Oh, okay.
which is another one of those movies where it's a bunch of kind of like young kids that have to deal with like supernatural shit. That was when the birthday kept repeating itself like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
No, I love that movie.
Yeah,
I like the
in that.
first one. The second one,
Yeah, the
I
second one
wasn't a
wasn't
huge
so great.
fan.
She had a bigger role in the second one because she was more the villain in the second one.
What was this?
Happy Death Day.
Okay.
Yeah. It was one where the girl's birthday kept repeating like Groundhog's Day, and every time she died, the day would start over, and there was a murderer after her.
I'm actually
That
friends
sounds like
with
fun.
I'm actually friends with the killer guy, like the
really?
bad guy. His name's Rob Mello, and he is one of the nicest guys in the indie scene. You know, like he'll help out people. You know, he's very proactive on helping out cast, you know, like actors out and doing stuff, and really good dude. But it's really funny because like if you know him personally, he's like the goofiest, silliest guy you know, and then you see him in like Happy Death Days, they're killing everybody. And
see, that was another one of those movies where the first one was definitely better than the second, and same with The Babysitter. I wanted to say that the second one was a little too
I didn't
CGI.
watch the second one, but Jackie did.
Good.
Jackie didn't love it.
The storyline was kind of bogus and the CGI was just bad. So the first one definitely was better. But this one, I like this one because it still had that kind of vibe that these movies have with the young girl, you know, who gets put in this situation. But there were a lot of moments that, again, were like, you know, it sounds stupid that they're doing this, but we wouldn't have a movie if they didn't.
Right.
You know, because so basically, like when she delivers these pizzas, the guy doesn't tip her and her moped won't start. So she starts banging on the door for gas money for help and gets ignored. Well, she walks around the house and breaks and enters and walks into this person's house. All I could think of myself was, I don't care if I don't have gas, I'm not going into somebody else's house, like ever. So that was one of those moments where you're just kind of like, I mean, you are breaking and entering. I don't know if I would ever do that. You know, she had a cell phone. She could have called for help then about her moped instead of breaking and entering. But then we wouldn't have the movie because she wouldn't have walked in on the cult.
Right. Which was so fun.
Yeah. They referred to it as a coven, but, you know, it was a satanic cult.
Yeah. I mean, if her moped started and she just went home, there'd be no movie.
Right.
You know?
And I do think it's one of those things, again, at the end where she escapes and all of a sudden she's like, okay, moped, work. And it works. And you're like, it just all of a sudden works.
She didn't try hard enough.
Here's the thing, though. What I've been told from different things is if you can take out certain aspects of the film or whatever, and like say we took out, like say her thing started, her moped started. I think like her character is interesting enough that I would have followed her back home. And maybe something crazy could have happened, or maybe it could have been a comedy, you know, about a pizza girl, you know, like, and I would have been into that because I liked Sam herself. Like she was an interesting enough character. She carried the film enough where like if she hadn't had to deal with these supernatural situations and stuff, and it kind of reminds me of Tucker and Dale versus Evil, where like at the beginning, she's kind of like, okay, so let's get to the Kildo scene and everything too, real quick, because I just want to say, like, she didn't do any of that stuff. Like,
it was kind of like
all accident.
He accidentally kills people,
right?
Which, just to remind you, that is on our list this year, is Dale and Tucker.
I love that movie.
So you remember that it's on our list.
I won't. Well, I can't first time watch it because I've already seen it.
It does have that feel though of like, when I think was it Tucker's the one who accidentally killed people, or was it Dale? Right. I think it was Tucker, right? Tucker. But it was like, oh shit, like I did not. I guess they both did. They didn't mean to kill those people. That's how she was. So like when she walks into this house trying to get her pizza money, and first off, that speech she gave in the middle of their coven was just like, wow, like, because she literally, they're like, wait, who are you, strange girl, in the middle of our little gathering here? She's like, I'm just the pizza girl. My name is Sam, and I know everybody says that you guys are shitty people, but maybe if y'all tip me, I could tell everybody you're not shitty people. And I'm like, geez. I was like, that whole little speech she gave was just like, I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe now they kind of want to kill you.
You're a virgin, right?
Right.
Oh, and then she's just like, that's a very personal question.
She's like, I sing sea shanties and kumbayas outside of the petting zoo or something like that. And they're like, oh, you're a virgin, aren't you? I feel like that's personal. Yep. Nope, she didn't say no. That means yes.
Yeah.
Here comes our first celebrity guest star, the Jerry O'Connell.
Oh God, yes. Jerry. Fucking the fat kid from Stand By Me. I loved him, man. I absolutely adored. I adored Jerry. I thought, because I mean, first of all, I grew up on.
Was really creepy, but I love him in other movies.
No, but I loved him in like was it Scream 2? He was great in Tomcats, Jerry Maguire. Like he's been like such an icon.
And they couldn't have him live very long in this film, probably because of his stature. They're like, okay, we could pay you for this.
Yeah. They only had enough money for like one day.
Right. So he's basically after she makes herself known to be a virgin, and they knock her out basically with the face full of powder. She wakes up locked in a room with him. And he's like, Drakey, like, they're gonna kill me. They're probably gonna kill you too. Wait, you're a virgin? Well, let me save your life by raping you, because then you won't be a virgin anymore.
How does that save her life, though? Like, because they're not going to kill her. They're making her, like, and get her in.
Well, they're wanting her to be the vessel for baby Baphomet. So, like, she's going to probably end up dying after that. But I mean,
they would have killed her anyways. She just wouldn't have had, like,
she wouldn't have been able to. She wouldn't have been able to carry the host at that point. But I think she still would have been murdered in some way. So the only thing he was saving her from was giving birth to, a demon.
So we forgot to mention, though, before, in the beginning of the movie, like the literally opening of the movie starts with the daughter of Rebecca Romaine having sex, or whatever. She's trying to have sex or whatever, because she was basically she did not want to be a virgin anymore,
right?
So that
she knew what was going to happen, right? She wanted to lose her virginity to the first person that would ask her to, because she knew she was going to be in the ceremony that night. And she's like, because you got to think, like, the coven people, they raise their children in the coven, so all these kids know everything. They know all the spells, they know everything that's happening, they're in on it. So she was perfectly well aware what her mother signed her up to do, and she's like, nope, losing my virginity, so I don't have to do that. And her mother was like, hey, kill her. And she didn't get killed. Instead, she got sent as a gift to one of the couple's kids, and that's where the Kildo comes in.
Okay, so first of all, who were they babysitting? Was that their brothers, or was that just random kids that were part of the coven?
I thought that they were the brothers of the
it was
killer.
Hard to tell, because the Gypsy and that Phillips guy came in, and it was the blonde girl with the kildo was their daughter.
Okay.
And it showed Sam running to their house later and being at their house. So that wasn't their house, I don't believe.
No.
That was whoever house had the two young boys. But I couldn't tell if that brunette chick originally, if she said she was babysitting. So it's like, I'm assuming it was just one of the houses with two young boys that were a member of the coven. They just didn't really specify whose house that was or whose kids that was.
Bratty fucking kid.
Yeah. I want to mention though, the blonde girl, I believe, is Whitney Moore, if I'm correct. And Whitney Moore is famous for being in one of the worst movies of all time called Birdemic. You know, and it's Birdemic Shock and Terror. We've covered it on Indie Film Cafe, but she was not good in that movie at all. However, since then,
scene in this movie.
Since then, she has risen to this amazing degree of like, maybe she took acting classes or something, but she is a hell of a lot better.
She probably didn't want to be known for that.
Well, I mean, what's your like the worst movie of all time? And then she was in the sequel, where they were sort of making fun of the fact that it was the worst movie of all time. So it was sort of not a fun sequel because, like, you know, when somebody knows that they're bad, then they try to be bad, but then it's not. It doesn't, like, you can't do that. So anyway, she was terrible in Birdemic and great in this movie. You know, I liked her.
I mean, at least in this one, her acting was very shocking.
Yeah. With the dildo, kildo.
Yeah, because he got shocked to death.
Oh God, I forgot about that. That's nice pun right there.
That was already starting with some cool deaths. I will say that one of the reasons why I did pick this movie is I do think the deaths are really cool. And the gore aspect of it is really cool. Because, you know, like after she kills what's his face for trying to have sex with her, you know, she escapes, and that's where she ends up. She ends up at the neighbor's house, you know, because like most horror movies, you escape the house that's trying to kill you, you knock on the neighbor's house. I've learned enough. Keep going. Don't knock on any neighbor's doors. At least get down no adjacent neighbors, because they're all in on it.
You have your cell phone.
You have your cell phone. Why didn't you call somebody? Hide in a bush, call for help, and then wait for somebody.
You know what they would have done if somebody thought, like, why don't she just pull out her cell phone? It'd have been like, no service. I can't get service here. Oh, you know, because that's everybody.
She got the phone call when she was being attacked by.
Yeah, she got that phone call later by the guy from the pizza place, you know, and that whole thing. But,
was it?
It was just one of those things where we wouldn't have a movie if she thought to grab out her cell phone, and she's in a moment of panic. You know, so
Satanic Panic, yes. You know,
and immediately this neighbor girl's creepy as fuck. She's like, "Oh no, you were almost raped by the neighbor." I'll call 911 for you and give you no proof that I called them. Here, drink this little tiny amount of soda. You're losing blood. And
my favorite. So there's a movie called Hey Stop Stabbing Me, and it kind of like. At one point in the movie, the guy goes and says, "Here, drink this," and there's like a pill in the thing, and it's like it's very just disgusting looking. He was like, "I'm not drinking that." He goes, "How did you know it was poisoned?" Damn, you're good. You know? And it kind of reminds me of that. Like she like gets a soda, and then she's like, "Wait a minute, something just doesn't seem right about it." And then the kid drinks the soda instead.
Glass of soda, though, it's just like a shot of soda in this big glass, like, because that's not suspicious either.
And then the kid's like, "I want this," you know, or whatever.
Yeah, she sets it down to go to take care of something, to freak out. She's like, "No, I'm too panicky right now," and the kid fucking drinks it, and then the kid fucking dies. And then I like how she tries to pull it off. "Oh, he's diabetic." Like, no, bitch, you trying to poison me.
Now, she was dumb though, because if she had poisoned the Samantha, or the coven would have been pissed, you know.
Oh yeah. No, they would have been so mad. She's kind of lucky that, you know, she didn't do that. I mean, she died anyways, but
she died. Yeah. Like,
And then Sam got to punch a little kid. The other brother got punched in the face.
That was pretty great.
And it's funny though how she accidentally killed this kid and punched the other one, knocked him out, and then it was never talked about again. Nobody ever mentioned those kids. Their parents never wondered where they were or anything like that. They just were out of the story and out of the movie for the rest of the movie.
Which has just been like a poor family. They brought their poor kids, the bratty fucking kids.
Might have been because it might have been like they were just babysitting, like, you know, other people's kids from somewhere else. You know, that, you know,
they didn't really touch on it. They didn't really explain it, and that's fine. We got to see one kid die and another kid get punched in the face. Yeah. So you know,
I mean, I think at that time anyway, it would have been too much if there was another family that was just like, oh my god, my kids are dead, because like already at that point there was like everybody was already dead. Like, or whatever, because at that point,
of course, the horror movie standard is I'm in trouble, let me run upstairs.
Yep, she runs upstairs, and then
to find the girl hogtied.
I'm sorry, but if I heard somebody making sounds in another room, even if they sound like they were in danger, you know, having
not my problem.
I would have been like, I gotta take off. I'm sorry, and you know that makes me like, in real life, not the hero, you know, or whatever, because she was the hero. She went in there, even though, you know.
I think honestly, like, I have more survival instincts than Sam, but I still would have gone in there and at least untied the girl, which honestly then worked to her benefit because that girl had the knowledge of how to help her.
And see, that wouldn't have been helped. I would have died. But the thing is, she also didn't know that could have been like that girl that loved being tied up and was part of the coven too. So you know,
the only thing though that made that obviously not is the fact that she was about to get murdered with a giant dildo.
Corkscrew dildo.
I mean,
because the chick with the dildo was in there about to rail her with it, had her hogtied to rail her with it, and the only reason she came out of the room is because she heard her sister fighting with Sam. Right. And then try to help her sister.
Okay, and, I'll go with that. I'll
so you see her sister go up there with Sam. I forgot her name, and they're fighting. And then all of a sudden, she comes out with this giant strapped dildo, which is just this giant fucking like pointy drill point. Man, that thing was scary, man. I wouldn't want anybody coming at me with that. But she tripped all over herself and accidentally stabbed her sister. Went through a wall, and got electrocuted. So there's your Dale and Tucker kill.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like at that point, it became like that because at one point the girl looks at her and she was like, "Wow, you're badass." And I'm like, "No, she's not."
Like, it was an accident. She's like, "It was an accident. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. I'm so sorry. Do not look downstairs where the kids are."
Yeah.
We kind of skimmed over the fact that, like, I know Jerry's character's name was Sam too, and she tried to do the whole rule of Sam's helping Sam's that the guy tricked her with earlier.
Yeah.
And then he died in a terrible fucking way by having his wife, which was the leader of the coven, like reach her hand into his neck. And like pull out whatever the fuck she pulled
out some sort of organ. Yeah, when that fool tried to shoot her
and shot himself.
When her phone rang, her phone actually rang in the thing, and so we know it was working. And you know, she was trying to ask for help because he was trying to rape her, so she wasn't a virgin. And he tried to shoot her, and the gun didn't go off, so he pointed it at himself and shot himself in the fucking neck.
it was.
I know he'd been drinking a lot, but don't ever do that.
Yeah. Don't point the gun at yourself.
No. But for his wife to come in and stick her hand in his neck like that was pretty brutal. Like, I think he would have died a lot quicker from shock and all of that. But the fact that she pulled out an organ and then they made this casserole with it that was a demon that they were going to go send after Sam to find her.
That demon was fucking weird. Like, that shit
I think it had the soul of that guy in it because it was like subservient and shit.
It was weird.
It's like his soul or something that they pulled out. Like, it was supposed to be his soul. That was crazy. It was glowing, and I was like, wait, the fuck?
And they put it with some bay leaves and some dirt and baked it like a casserole, and it came out this alien looking thing that sucked the blood off of her finger, and then she put a bloody t-shirt in there, you know, and it flew off into the sunset to go find her. Wrapped itself up in a sheet, tried to choke her down her throat.
A soul casserole monster. I mean,
And it got wrapped up in the sheet, put in the freezer with some water.
yeah.
You're gonna find that thing later and be pissed.
Poor. So that was some crazy shit too. So when Sam and I'm trying to remember what the other girl's name was.
That may be Cassie.
That may be Cassie.
Because I know her real name's I think Ruby. That's the one from.
Judy Ross. So
Okay.
Judy, but Ruby Modine is Matthew Modine's daughter, and Matthew Modine is very like famous from the 80s and stuff.
Okay.
So I looked that up before when I was watching it because I saw Modine, and there's like that's not a very common last name.
Right.
So I was is she related? Because sometimes they are like Ethan Hawke's daughter is Maya Hawke, and she's on Stranger Things. So like a lot of these daughters are out there, and a part of like these super 80s actors, and they are amazing. These young actors are really fucking good. That girl was pretty good. I liked her.
I think her role really carried a lot of it, which I know she was nominated for like best supporting role or something like that. She didn't win, but I know she was nominated.
That's nice.
Yeah,
it's always nice to get a nomination for something.
But yeah, they ended up forming this bond and this friendship, and because I know at the end when she did die, Sam had an opportunity at the end, to kind of like stab the belly and stuff, but instead, once her friend died, she was just all about mourning. Oh my God, like la la la. Like I don't know if I would have gotten that big of a connection like that, but I definitely would have helped rescue her after the Kildo and kept her with me because of her knowledge. But when she got murdered at the end, I don't think I would have dropped everything to give her a hug. I think I would have been like, oh, stab. Like nope, you kill my friend, I'm killing the baby.
Yeah. Definitely. So
2 white buddies.
That shit, all that shit. Well, we'll get into that shit in a second.
We will.
So there's that, man, one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie is the scene with was it what did we call her? What did she end up her name being? Like
Gypsy or
was it Gypsy?
Gypsy was the blonde, and I've seen her in other stuff too. She was the crazy one that ended up doing this.
Oh no. I'm talking about Ruby and
Ruby?
Sam. When Ruby and Sam are together, what her name? But that was Ruby's their real name. Judy and Sam are together, and Judy's has all the basically all the marks coming on her, and she's got to like keep herself and stuff.
Because Gypsy's putting that spell on that voodoo doll and trying to kill her.
When all that's happening, I was just like, that's one of my favorite scenes. Like that was good. She's like doing the spell, and then the whole time Sam is freaking out because this is like her first time doing all this shit, and she's trying to contain herself, but it was pretty good. Like that.
Well, and in order to calm her down, Judy's like, well, tell me about the first person that the boyfriend you had. I've never had that experience. Just tell me about that to calm her down. But I feel like that whole story she gave kind of ended up like a dead end story because they didn't do anything with it. Like the only thing that did was to show that her character used to be weak and now maybe she's getting strong. Because the whole story she was telling was about them both having cancer. And when she got into remission, she never went back to help him. And she felt really bad about that.
Right. So at the end of the movie, remember she quits the pizza place and wants to go travel, like, go to Australia or something.
Yeah.
So
$5 back.
So there was a little bit of a mention because she talked about how that guy and her talked about going to Australia all the time or whatever and stuff.
I feel like that's where they were trying to go with that, was they were trying to show her character as growing from this scared girl to having more confidence.
She has more confidence. I mean, at the end of it, she's definitely grown as but see, the problem with these movies these days, period, but that is that like the arcs are too obvious, because like when you watch a weak girl in the beginning of the movie, by the end of it she's going to be strong.
Right. She's going to be the final girl.
Yeah, and so okay. You made a good point. So the final girl. So in Friday the 13th, what's her name's? I guess the weak girl, Adrian King. I forgot her character's name, but she was like the weak girl, I guess, but not really. She didn't seem that weak. She seemed to be able to handle herself, and she had an arc where she had to take off fucking Jason's mom's head. Spoiler. But she had to like do that, and stuff. So like there was like this thing of like, but they didn't show it, like they didn't make her like be passive or like or be scared of mouse or something. Like I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. I do remember there was one of the Friday the 13th, there was like a mouse that's freaked everybody out. But like things like that, but like it didn't get to that. This movie, the chick's afraid of everything,
Right.
And
Right.
she's
just
such
very shy and doesn't stand up for herself.
She got a bit of a backbone to go in and demand that the rich assholes
That's
tip
true.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even though she was breaking and entering.
Yeah.
She was breaking and
Broken
entering. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sorry though. Is it really breaking and entering when you need to tell these people like you need money for gas?
They don't have to tip. You don't have the right to go into their house, especially go around the back and jimmy their door open and sneak in.
Well, right, that's true. Shouldn't have done that. But on top of that, when she was ringing the doorbell, somebody should have came to the doorbell.
Oh no, they definitely
should have came to the door and helped her out.
Yeah, they were being dicks. They were having their satanic meeting. They were being dicks. And I like how the end though, when she sees that guy again, she goes off on him. She's like, "You bug-eyed motherfucker, it's your fault."
All of this could have been,
Right?
I don't know what they were planning to do though, because they already lost the virgin at that particular moment. Were they gonna like go scouting for virgins when?
Well, yeah, because when she walked into the room to interrupt them for the tip, that's when she was the Rebecca character. I can't remember her name. Gypsy. Gypsy was talking to her though, but she's like, yeah. So
Danica.
about our virgin, Danica's like, so she was announcing just then that she kind of didn't have a virgin anymore, and that's when they were freaking out. So she walked in onto the announcement of, so by the way, we don't have a virgin anymore, and then that's kind of where Gypsy's like, wait, Pizza Girl's a virgin.
Yeah.
Get it.
Gypsy, okay, so I know that actress, like I've seen her in things.
I've seen her in stuff too.
I just don't know where, because I looked her up on IMDb. I cannot do not know where
I saw that her and one other person was in Shameless. So I'm assuming that maybe that's where I've recognized her from, is from Shameless.
I never watched Shameless.
But there's a bunch of other things on there. She's just kind of one of those characters that I think maybe doesn't have the major role, but has a small enough role where she's very rememberable.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks like a lot of other characters.
Yeah.
And she sounds, her voice is really what does it for me, because every time I hear her voice, I know that like that voice. I loved her. Gypsy was probably one of my favorite characters, because
her
a lot of fun.
Were some good comedic relief, I think, because it's supposed to be a horror comedy, even though the comedy was a little like what did we say his name was, that Daniel Phillips guy played her husband, who's gonna be the
Jeff Daniel Phillips. Didn't he play the husband of Jordan Ladd? No, he played Jordan Ladd's husband. He was with the girl, like he was the father of the two girls that got murdered.
The blonde chick, I thought, because he said that they killed our kids.
Yeah, so Gypsy was
so he was the dad of one and she was the mom of the other.
I'm guessing, but what I'm saying is,
for some reason I thought that they were a couple and it was both their kids.
No, they aren't.
Because I thought the family photo they showed later was of her and him and the blonde when she was a kid.
No, so Jordan Ladd played Kim Larson. Jeff Daniel Phillips played Steve Larson. Jordan Ladd is the girl from Cabin Fever who was the first girl to get the virus and everything. She's in the cabin, like in her own locked away or whatever.
Who was she in this movie?
She was the wife of the Jeff Daniel Phillips guy, the guy with the mustache and beard. And
Right, but
so
I don't remember her. I thought for some reason I thought that the
Gypsy
was his
didn't have a
wife.
husband or
Okay.
anything.
So it was just their daughters, but I don't remember seeing the character that played his wife. So I guess she just didn't stand out.
She was there. She was blonde. Maybe that's the thing, because they were
Maybe
both
that's why I
blonde.
got confused.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were both blonde. So, but she was the one who barely said anything. She had like
Uh-huh.
maybe 1 or 2 lines in the movie, which
Okay.
when I was
Yeah, that
watching
was
it, I
weird
was
though, 'cause
looking at going, wait, why is she not talking much?
okay. I
And
think it's because him and Gypsy entered that room and they're like, they killed they killed our kids. That's what got me thinking it
I
was
think
their
literally you
kids.
saw Jordan Ladd and you saw
Yeah,
blonde hair and you
maybe,
just
maybe.
assumed it was because it was a different girl. But
Okay.
but that was the problem too, is you're right.
Yeah.
Like there were two women who very much looked like each other, but one didn't speak, so you never really
Okay.
heard her talk. So you can't differentiate the two sometimes.
Okay. But I liked his role in the movie though, because I felt like he gave a little bit of comedic relief, even though like because just because it's the way he presents himself and the way
Didn't he
he
like?
talks.
Didn't he go like freak out at one point, like or something? Like
I think
I
so.
want
But
to I want to say there
he's
was something like that that just made me laugh.
he's been
Because
in all the Rob Zombie projects and everything like that. Like he's the new Herman Munster coming up, and like he's a good actor. I like him. I'm glad he was in it.
yeah, which I mean, I'm guessing this had a pretty damn good budget, to afford these
Well, I
people.
know it was made by Fangoria.
And
It was
Rebecca
kind of it
Romaine
was,
is a big name, and she was in.
yeah,
I was expecting her to be in it for like 5 minutes, just like
right,
Jerry
the
O'Connell.
whole thing.
But she was in the whole movie, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love this!" Like, I just fell in love with.
Yeah,
I could definitely watch this more, like at least once a year or something, because it's kind
yeah,
of fun. Um, Once again, much like the The Babysitter is one of those movies I can watch over and over again.
right.
You know.
But they basically chase this pizza girl around until they manage to get her on the altar and impregnate her with baby Baphomet.
And that, yeah, which I don't know much about satanic stuff or whatever, but I did laugh because didn't the guy say something about or somebody said something about the fact that like their neighbor is a Satanist and he gives money to whatever, like it's
Uh-huh.
if I'm
Oh yeah,
correct.
well no, that's not true. My neighbor said he's vegan. That's what she
Yeah.
said.
Yes, exactly.
She's like, not all Satanists don't act like this. My neighbor's vegan.
Yeah. And that cracked me up because I was like thinking, that's so funny. That's like literally, so there's the two Satanist kind of people, right? The really
Right.
sweet Satanist people, and then the people
There's
that
different.
I think actually do try to,
Yeah.
raise the dead or,
Right, because you have different branches of Satanism, kind of like you
Yeah.
have different branches of Christianity. We've talked about this before. You have your Leviathan Satanism and stuff like that. Some of them who actually do worship Satan and who do the Luciferian that do what they do. And you have the other ones who are more of the Leviathan ones who more believe in the practice of just goodwill towards everybody, peace, like charity and all this stuff and being good people rather than actually worshiping like an entity.
Right. They use Satan more as a.
So that would be more of her vegan neighbor.
Yeah.
So
he's just an
definitely
icon to
definitely
bring
two
away
different
from Christ.
types. You got the vegan neighbor and you got the neighbor who are summoning Baphomet. You have your different types there.
what were you saying, Cody?
Oh, I was just saying the Levian Satanism is more of humanism. It's just they use Satan as more of an icon to deter people
Right.
away from their religion more against Christianity. It's more of a philosophy than a religion.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know anything about it because I'm not a Satanist at all or whatever. And I don't do enough. Like I should. I did write a movie called The Sacrificed, which is very much a Satan kind of thing. Bringing back Satan and shit. But it's sort of so fictional that like it's fantasy and shit.
Right.
It's not. This is more like. It's funny because this is more like something like I don't know. It's fantasy, but also sort of, I guess, more truthful to a lot of what probably would happen.
Yeah, because a lot of this stuff does happen and whatnot. But so we did miss a part 2 though, where they tried to kill Danica.
Ah, that's right.
Gypsy tried to kill Danica, and stab her in the head and shit like that, and it didn't work. And she managed to get her bracelets off and put a spell on her to kill her later. And when they did kill her, she grabbed the salt and moved the salt.
Oh,
and that
yeah.
fucked up their whole ritual. Because, everybody knows when you do the rituals, you have to do the salt to keep certain things out and certain things in, because they can't cross the salt.
Right. Well, then they mentioned that before too. So
right, because they put the salt on the window, and then it got blown away, and that's how the demon got in to attack her.
Right.
It's always in every movie like this is, always the salt. If the line of salt gets broken, you're fucked. So when she grabbed that salt line and broke that salt line, when they did the ritual, they pissed off was it the Samuel something, that other demon, the one that's like, the little girl, she's like,
Samsel or something.
Samsel or whatever. So they're like, no, I'm way above the demon they're trying to summon. He's way below me. That's insulting that they're not summoning me and they're summoning this guy. She's like,
a little bratty. It makes sense that it's a kid. It makes sense that it's a kid because it's so bratty,
Yeah, she's like, no, Baphomet is below me. I'm like the 11th up here, like I'm above them. They should have been worshiping me and calling me like
I
fools.
looked up that demon, by the way, and it is not a real demon. And because the only reason I know it's not a real demon is when I Googled it, all that popped up was Satanic Panic stuff. I'm like,
so they made her up. They made her up for the SAM code. They made her up for the SAM code, so she could be like, oh no, you could kill everybody here, but not me because I'm a Sam. There
is a Sam something or whatever, the Samuel or something that's like an angel.
Samuel, yeah.
And but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Well, because I know Baphomet is Satan's right hand man. Like, it's kind of hard to be above.
Right.
Lucifer.
So that is one thing that when she was talking about how she was a higher demon. I'm like, are you though? So it makes sense that part was made up.
Well, right, and it's probably a fact that she's probably not, but she had that like arrogance of like, I am.
And if you remember, that little girl also, when she drove her moped into town to deliver the pizzas, was just standing there in the grass waving to her in the beginning.
What?
That's right. Yeah.
Did you not catch that? When she was riding her moped to the house to drop off the pizzas? There was a yard with this little girl just waving to her.
I don't remember that. That's crazy.
It was the same girl. That was the same girl. Was the little demon girl.
That's funny. Now, do you think that maybe because a lot of times in movies and television they have it where the demon can possess something that you're familiar with, so that you can only see it because that's the image that you know of or whatever. So maybe that was it, because I don't think that demon was already there. I think it just
maybe it took form of the little girl that was in the neighborhood earlier.
Yeah, just because it needs to take form of something.
Yeah, which again is just one of those small details that they didn't really touch up a whole lot on, and she said earlier that when she needed to calm down, she was in a stressful situation. She learned the technique to calm herself down, which is just think of something nice. So she would always think of two fuzzy, cute bunnies. So when they were trying to give birth to the Baphomet, that's what she did. She's like, two fuzzy bunnies, and two bunnies popped out.
Yep.
Two satanic bunnies.
Two satanic bunnies. I mean, hey.
The demon did eat one of them, which was sad. But I do think it's funny how she picked up the other one and rescued it when she ran out.
Oh yeah, just like, that one's not getting eaten.
Part of me would want to do that as being a previous bunny owner, but the other part of me would be so paranoid that bunny was a demon. I'd be like, nope, I'm leaving the bunny. Y'all have fun. I'm out. Like, I don't know if I take that bunny with me after all that. I mean, the bunnies did appear out of your womb after trying to give birth to like a demon, so I don't know if I would take that bunny home.
Now, I will say that the ending was a bit confusing.
It was.
And so it was a little rushed, and it felt like because it just kind of fades, and then all of a sudden everything's all done, and I'm just like, wait, what happened? And then I rewound it because I thought I missed something,
right?
And I didn't, and I was just like, wait, this is awkward.
I feel like it was rushed. I do feel like from what I got from it was when Gypsy moved the salt, she screwed up the whole thing. So when she went to give birth to Baphomet, that other demon stepped in and was like, nope, and decided to just murder everybody for what they have done. And then only spared her because she did the whole Code of Sam's thing.
Yeah, she was going to kill her or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I think she was, until she tried to fool her with the Code of Sam's thing, which is pretty ballsy, because even the demon was like, you're lying. I'm like, I would be afraid that this demon would be like, no, you're lying. I'm definitely killing you now. But I mean, I guess take your shot.
Yeah, you know, she risked it. Like, she risked a lot. Like, she did, you know, like I said, she's a hero.
It was a long night for her. I just don't know if I would have taken the bunny, just because, like, I'd want to save the bunny, but at the same time, I don't want that bunny to, like, turn into a demon later.
What always annoys me, I think if I remember correctly, the part where Danica comes back, you know, and she's kind of in the she's followed the people or whatever. And aren't they like driving at one point, like almost escaping or something, or like leaving, and then they see Danica back or whatever, right? If I'm correct, weren't they driving?
I'm trying to remember, because when she came back, I was really confused. Like, I missed something.
Yeah. She just stood back up, her eyes opened back up, and she just stood back up.
I feel like I missed something there when she came back.
Okay. But yeah, it was a little confusing, but
yeah,
it like, once again, I think it had an awesome ending. Like, I mean, like the ritual and all that stuff. I mean, I hate to say it, but I was kind of hoping to see Baphomet, you know, so I was like, I'm always watching these movies and I'm like, I want these people to live, but then a part of me is like,
part of you wants the demon to show up and kill everybody.
Just show up, because like that makes it more fun, you know, because like if it ends and they never have a ritual, you know, like what fun is that?
It never goes right. They never show up. Like this one. Like, he didn't show up because they fucked it up, and then the other demon showed up and killed everybody.
Yeah. Well, who would have said, like, see, that's the funny thing about like worshiping these demons and shit.
Yeah.
Who's to say they're not going to show up and just murder everybody anyway? Like, oh, thank you for bringing me to Earth, but here you go. You're all gone.
Right?
You know?
Cool. Dinner. Nom, 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 nom.
I was watching a movie. Everyone dead.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I'd be like, you guys ever watch South Park?
Yeah, that's when they summon Biggie Smalls over and over again.
Yeah,
he's like, damn it, I'm trying to do something. Quit summoning me.
I know. That's what it reminds me of.
The party.
Like Candyman, like that's where there was supposed to be the joke of Candyman, but like I guarantee I want to talk to Tony Todd one day and be like, wouldn't it really be annoying if you just kept getting summoned, you know, from you know, people?
So that needs to be a funny short that's just made of just this demon or this monster who's just trying to live his life, and he keeps getting summoned every 5 seconds by bratty.
Well, it's been done on South Park. I think that covered it enough where I don't think I would. I think that what
still.
I mean, you know, it is funny. It's a great idea.
It would have been cool to see an actual like Baphomet demon pop up, but maybe that wasn't in the budget. So the little girl was cheaper.
As Candyman, just like, God damn it.
Right.
If they had done Baphomet, it would have just been that like little girl or whatever. It would have been, you know, or maybe, I mean, it would have been somebody he has to.
I feel like if they summon Baphomet, he needs to be actually Baphomet. He needs to be the half goat, half man demon or woman demon, you know, like
that would be cool.
It needs to be an actual Baphomet if you're gonna summon Baphomet. Like,
but they would need a budget. Like the only time I've ever seen Baphomet on film was like 300.
Yeah, it's an expensive.
It was in the movie 300.
Yeah, when the hunchback goes to the Persian army, and you see all the girls fucking each other, and you see like the weird goat head thing. That was Baphomet.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's like, but
weird
see,
imagery.
right. Weird imagery right there. It's like Game of Thrones with Baphomet.
This is Sparta, Baphomet.
This is hell.
But yeah, no, it like wonderful. I would love to see that kind of stuff. I know Kevin Smith did a movie called Red State, and he was gonna have like at the end of the movie, he was gonna have an actual Armageddon happen where like they blow the trumpet and then everybody's heads explode, and then the people who are like who are going to heaven start like getting risen up there and everything. But then later on they did the movie This Is the End, and they sort of had that, and so it was that was an amazing movie. If you guys had I love that movie. But
both of them were great.
What, both those movies? Yeah. Well,
it was the whole like David Koresh thing.
Yeah, I never saw that.
And it was fantastic how the whole Waco, Texas siege happened.
Right. Well, he was going to do that, and then he decided he just didn't have the budget to do it. So I think he wrote it and sent it to somebody, showed it to somebody, because the guy was daring him basically to do it, and so he did it. And then he was like, "No, I can't make this happen. Like, they would need like $5 million to have like all the effects happen."
The budget this movie had, I feel like they had a good cast. They had good gore.
What was the budget for this?
I'm not sure. The only thing that I said that I criticized this movie for is I feel like there's a lot of things that they either got touched upon too much and weren't necessary, or touched upon too little and didn't get enough detail. So there are a few like storyline things that I think could have been worked on, and maybe they rushed it a little. But other than that, like the actors that they hired were great. The visuals were great. The gore and special effects were great. And the storyline was good. There were just parts in it where I felt like they could have done a little better with.
I mean, the practical effects that they did with like the weird rape demon, that thing looked creepy as hell.
Yeah, the one with the sheet.
Yeah.
No, they did really good with the visuals.
Thing that actually raped her at the end of the movie, where it bit her skull in the beginning, like the thing that drug her to the altar.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It was like the two-faced thing.
Oh, there was so much going on in that orgy. Yeah. I don't think I even noticed what was going on.
It was like, there's an orgy.
Yeah, and I may have been looking down at that point because I was getting tired.
Yeah.
But over the most part, though, like I think it's a great movie. I think some of the script could have been workshopped, but other than that, I like the movie. I would definitely recommend it to people to watch. Go to the dollar store and find it under Panic. I recommend it as a watch, not an everyday all the time watch, not a like top 10 favorite movies watch, but definitely a good watch if you like horror movies. And I like horror comedies, so this is more up my alley. Like, it's not a true horror comedy where it has you laughing all the time, but it definitely has its comical moments that get you going, okay, not to take it too seriously. And then there were no gruesome animal deaths, which I liked. The bunnies were cute, and being a bunny owner, I'm glad that the one bunny death was more CGI than anything, and that bunny death wasn't too bad. Yeah. The only part I had an issue with the bunnies is when she picked up the bunny, she laid it on its back, which if you've owned bunnies, that's called trancing. And that did frustrate me because I know that they only did that to keep the bunny from moving in her arms. Because when you lay a rabbit on their back, it trances them, and it basically knocks them out, and they are paralyzed, and it can kill them.
Oh, wow. I didn't.
So you're never supposed to lay a rabbit on their back. It basically slows down their heart rate, and they're in such fear that they go stiff and they don't move, and it can slow their heart rate down to the point of death.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes. Which I'm assuming they had her do that so it wouldn't claw its way around, because bunnies don't like to be held. So it's either sedated or transit. So I get that they did it for a brief period of time, but it was something, as somebody who used to own 8 rabbits, I was like, no, flip the bunny over. I'm like that poor bunny. But
poor
then he got
bunny.
But yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't own any bunnies, never in my life. So
that was the only thing that I noticed as being somebody who has that knowledge of, the bunny's being trans, flip the bunny over. Other than that, the bunnies were cute. There was really no horrible gory death scenes except for the one bunny, and that wasn't that bad. So no dead cats or anything in this one, so that made me happy.
No drive me to hell moments.
No dead dogs either. Like when Cabin Fever having the dead dog, there's 2 dead dogs. There's one that they just whatever, and later on there was another dog.
Like we said, for storyline, sometimes it's necessary. It's just how you choose to depict it.
Well, if and here's the thing: when a dog or animal is sick, right, like in Cabin Fever, the dog is, sick and attacking the
Right.
people or whatever, and it's a dangerous thing for the humans. I
Right.
don't mind it anymore. Like I used to
Right.
I still have a big problem with it. But when it's trying to attack you, I I don't I don't care, especially
It's
if it's
self-defense.
all fake.
That's you or the dog at that moment,
Like I Am Legend, where he just chokes his buddy out.
Well, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that movie, and that's just because I'm not a huge like zombie fan, so I don't just never watched it. But no, I was thinking of like I was just watching. We did like Urban Legends to Final Cut, right?
Yeah.
And they actually, have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah.
It's been a long time, but I have.
Well, they did the one like they were filming, the idea that like they're on the set of a film or whatever, and they were filming the people can lick to Urban Legend where the dog
Uh-huh.
is like dead and you see the dog and everything. Well, when I saw how fake the dog body
Yeah.
looked and everything, I was like, that's awesome, like because that made
Right.
my like heart like be okay with things,
Right.
because
It
I'm
not
actually
looking so realistic. Yeah.
right,
Puts your
and
mind at
then
ease.
yeah, because I bet when they film it, it looks realistic and shit. But
Yeah.
when you see it in there, but there was in their first Urban Legend, they did the dog in the microwave bit, and I fucking
Ooh.
hate that. That always,
Yeah.
if
It
somebody
hurts
puts
the
my
heart a little
dog,
bit.
if somebody puts my dog in the microwave, their heads go in the microwave.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not.
So I'm just glad that, there wasn't any brutal animal deaths in this one, that, the bunny got bit and eaten, but they CGI'd a lot of that, looked like, or even if they did
Demons
CGI,
need
you could
food
tell it was a
too.
fake bloody and a blood pack, and they didn't really show it very well. So
Hey, look,
I felt that it was pretty tasteful.
demons need. Oh, it was tasteful. All right,
Right.
very
It was tasteful to the
tasty.
demon. Yeah, but I do hope that at least that one animal death was done well and tasteful and not just sad.
Yeah.
Bunnies
But
and
demons need food too, so
They do. Because I don't like movies where they show the bunny all skinned and hanging and stuff like that. I don't like that. So at least this, I knew it was more of, they swapped the real bunny out with a prop bunny and a blood bag.
Yeah.
Of
So I'm like,
course.
okay, I get that. That's
Yeah.
fine. I could do that. I could do that.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you're really thinking about Sam.
Yeah.
But us as animal lovers, we do tend to like go, what are you doing with that bunny?
Of
Like,
course.
in the middle of like caring about Sam, like fuck Sam
Right.
at that particular moment.
Right.
What is going on with that bunny?
Save the satanic
And at
bunnies.
least one bunny made it. I just have a feeling it's gonna come back to haunt her taking that bunny, but we'll see what happens.
I don't think so. It didn't. Like it
Just
was
the way
there.
that bunny was brought into this world freaks me out. I'm like, nope, that bunny's a demon.
Satanic Panic 2.
That's a satanic bunny. So that would either be a bunny I want to have because that's very metal, or I'd be like, I don't know.
The
So
Satanic
maybe if I trained
Panic.
it to hurt my enemies and not me, right?
The Satanic Panic 2 title is Satanic Bunny. So
Right.
there you go. Yeah. Like
So
it's
at
the
the Dollar General, it'd
Right.
be bunny.
Right.
right. Oh
Panic
yeah.
bunny. It'd be
At
panic
Walmart,
bunny.
it's just bunny.
Yeah. Or it'd be panic bunny.
Panic bunny.
Yeah.
Panic Bunny.
Hey, Panic
Yes.
Bunny is the nice name of a movie. I think that'd be hilarious.
Panic Bunny.
But overall, what would you recommend the movie? Did you like it?
I enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, I'd probably watch it more than once. I mean,
Yeah.
for especially finding it so cheap, I didn't even remember that we were doing that, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
And I bought it having not thinking about that
Yeah.
and whatnot, and just knowing like I saw it at the Dollar Tree, and I was like, because I saw a DVD of it, and I saw a
Uh-huh.
Blu-ray. Of course, if I have the choice between one or the other, I'm gonna pick the
Right.
Blu-ray,
Right.
over it. So I picked that, and I mean, I'm guessing if you guys go to your local Dollar Tree, you might be able to find it, because
Yeah, we'll have to go take a look.
yeah, let me know if you do, if you find it.
I will. I think it'd be fun to go to the Dollar Tree and just see what we can find, and then report
There's a
back
lot
to
of
you.
horror. There's a lot of horror out there.
Ooh.
So,
but I do think that this is one of those movies where, like I said, like I watched it once, and this is my second time watching it for this, and it's like I thought it was fun. Like I said, it did have its flaws, but I thought it was a fun movie that, like if it was the background at a party again, I would throw it on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know. At a party though, I don't know if unless you're having like a horror
it'd be
version.
fine.
And the orgy would just.
It'd be fine. It would spark some enthusiasm at the party. Maybe we'll have some fun. It's great. It's awesome.
And then your party just turns into one big orgy, and then
you
guys are all raising the dead with bunnies and shit. I don't know.
Well, I have a chinchilla now. Like that works, right?
No, that works. Okay, that'll be fine.
Satanic chinchilla panic.
Don't hold back.
Don't hold me. That's the whole motto.
Oh Lord, Walmart, watch out! There's some new movies coming out.
Right. But overall, I think it was a good movie.
I thought so.
Not like the best movie, but a good movie. And I do like that it was set in Dallas. It was made in Dallas when I lived there, and I remember my friends doing movie screenings of it at the time. And you do get to see that beautiful Dallas skyline as she's riding away on her moped, with the buildings in the background, and that was nice for me.
Cody, had you not seen this before?
No, last night was my first time watching it, and it was a wild ride.
Most of the movies I pick, he hasn't seen before. Like a few of them he has, but most of them, like The Loved Ones, he hasn't.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
that was a great one too. Yeah, that she's picked some good ones this year.
Oh yeah,
so.
And this one, like, it was good. It was, again, it was a wild ride. I didn't know quite what to expect, because a lot of the satanic, like low budget films are kind of hit and miss, and 90% of the time they're more of a miss than a hit. But this one kept me entertained enough to where I would recommend it to people.
Like I would probably, like I said, I've said this like throughout the whole thing, but I'd probably do a double feature of this and The Babysitter someday. That kind of
like, and even include like the Happy Death Day, since Ruby's in that. I think if they did a multi-pack, sometimes they do those like four video ones. I think all of those movies go well together.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll have to show him some of those movies.
He says he hasn't seen Happy Death Day,
Well, I have 2 movies to show him.
I was like, for someone as into horror movies as I am, I'm very like.
Well, also it's a thing about scheduling too. You can't watch movies if you don't have time.
That's true.
Exactly. If you work all the time, you don't, because you work all the time and then you actually go and do band stuff. So like, you really don't have a lot of time, generally speaking.
We put one movie on when he gets home, and if he doesn't sleep through it, we're good.
Well, see, there you go. You didn't sleep through this, so
almost.
There was
only 2 minutes where I had to be like, wake up.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm watching the movie.
I was like, you have to pay attention to this one because we're going to be on a podcast tomorrow. Like, wake up.
We didn't mention. We didn't mention that the director was Chelsea Stardust, and she did a fantastic job. This is, I believe, like her first like feature film or whatever. I could be wrong, but I
did see on IMDb that the one award they did win was for her, and it was at an Idaho horror film festival of some sort.
Oh, nice.
But she did win an award for it.
I think, hold on, let me see if this is her first feature, because I know she'd done a bunch of shorts. It looked like she'd done a bunch. She had done a bunch of shorts, and then because of this movie, I guess she was part of that Blumhouse Into the Dark series. So she did All That We Destroy. Which, wait, did I just see? Yeah, Frank Whaley was in that episode. All right. So cool. Into the Dark was on, I think, Netflix, and you can like check it out. It's just a bunch of different. It's an anthology thing with different stories or whatever, and Blumhouse produced it. So maybe Chelsea Stardust will go be part of Blumhouse. Company who did have Happy Death Day. By the way, I also saw. I had to do. I think I told you before, Sarah, but I had to do Freaky. For
I've seen that movie twice now. I enjoyed it.
Was that the Vince Vaughn one?
Yeah.
And then I just watched Aqua Slash, and that was terrible.
Aqua Slash.
Yeah.
Now, is that a slasher movie, or is there involved, Slash from Guns N' Roses?
See, people thought that too.
Slash from Guns N' Roses dresses Aquaman, and that'd be the cover of that movie.
Oh my God, I gotta send you what my friend sent me. That's exactly what that is. But that's not what this movie is. No.
I was the Aqua Slash. The Slash dresses Aquaman with
I
his big
figured
top
it was
hat.
just him swimming.
Aqua Splash.
Aqua
Slash Splash. He's been taking a bath.
Oh my God, you guys are funny. I'm actually sending you the picture of that my friend sent me with Aquaman and Slash together for Aqua Slash.
Wow. I don't know if I can pull it up while we're doing this or not, but
probably not. It's probably better that you wait.
I will wait. We'll go ahead and we'll close this off, and we will have our after show banter about Aqua Slash. So sorry, y'all, you're gonna miss out on that.
You guys are gonna miss out on that. But anyway, so check out. We've got Horror Film Lovers, the YouTube channel as well. We're also on TikTok as Horror Film Lovers TV. There's the Horror Film Lovers podcast here, where next year we are planning to just do it all on video. So it's going to be all through the YouTube channel. That way we can differentiate the Indie Film Cafe with Horror Film Lovers and separate the two. But and then so we've got that going. And then I think next month we're doing Final Girls.
Yep.
So it's kind of interesting.
Final Girls. Yes.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Because that's one of my favorites too. So that was a mutual agreement for both of us, because I've seen that movie probably about 20 times.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Well, I guess he's gonna have to be shown it.
Yeah, he will. He'll probably rewatch it with me before the podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, it was that's a lot of fun. And then so for our YouTube channel, as I think I mentioned it before, but John Ward and I are doing Mainstream Mondays every Monday. And I can't believe it's been every Monday. That's just been nuts. But I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going for as long. We've already got like the list till October. So we've got all planned out. And then I'm also doing first time watch Fridays, usually by myself, but sometimes I might have somebody watch it with me if they get a chance or whatever. I like doing the kind of ones by myself because, why not? Then Wild Card Wednesdays may come back. I'm not sure by the time that this podcast comes out. I don't know if it'll be back or not. I haven't really gone into a lot of thought on it yet, like just kind of I'm trying to concentrate on the other, the Monday and Friday ones. But it'd be nice to have that. It's just might not be every Wednesday or so, because that's just one extra one I have to do. And on top of all the podcasts and stuff I'm already doing, and all the movie stuff I'm doing, and on top of all that shit. So but yeah, so that's what's going on. We'll have more stuff coming up for you guys to listen to and check out. Just let us know what you guys think. Is there something you guys want us to do at some point? If it's something that we're both like really excited about, we might actually do it. And thank you for it. So, and I don't know, but maybe one day we'll have a Patreon or something for this. If we have it by the time that this comes out, we'll post the link, but I don't know if we'll be doing that or not. We have to discuss that at some point. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much else going on in Horror Film Lovers land.
Yeah, not really at the moment. This is kind of a point where we're all getting our ducks in a row, figuring out exactly what our next move is,
But we're really excited. There's a lot of stuff going on, and if you haven't been checking out the Horror Film Lovers YouTube page, please do, because the more subscribers the better. We want to have you guys checking it out and telling us what you guys think. So and we might have some clips from these shows and stuff, like the actual like podcast of it, and stuff. So you never know. So we'll check that out. just let us know what you guys think and everything. And thank you, Cody, for coming on as a special guest.
Definitely, man. Always,
Really
it's always
appreciate it.
fun.
It was either that or do housework in the background, wait for me to finish. So it's like,
Yeah.
just shut up, I want to talk with us.
I mean,
Yeah.
you would have to flip it that way and show me in my apron while I'm doing everything.
But the audience isn't going to get to see that.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, because we're a
the actual
podcast, not a video cast.
Yeah.
But maybe if we do the Patreon, we can
Right? Then
start-
you can see Cody in his apron for
Cody in his
$5.
for $5 donation per month. You can see Cody in his apron. There you
You
go.
might get a copy of the CD too.
Right?
Oh, nice. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. And thank you all for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Join us next week for the final girls.
Yeah.
That way you guys can watch it before we do it, so that you guys
Great movie.
are checking it out and everything. If you haven't seen it, it's wonderful.
I look forward to it.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.
All right. Bye.
Bye.